Welcome to Friday Morning Live. Coming up this morning, you may soon be able to get some fresh air at Columbia area parks. We have the details. Also, a huge story has emerged from the NCAA tournament that has nothing to do with basketball. Find out why fans are outraged, these sports headlines you don't want to miss. And finally, a famous comedian found an unwanted guest in his apartment. Stay tuned to hear out the lies she told to get in.
The Midlands avoided much of that big storm yesterday, and temperatures will be going down and then right back up. So please stay tuned to Friday Morning Live.
Gamecocks, I'm Kaylee Olivas.
And I'm Madison Blumenauer. Thanks for joining us this morning.
After a year of living in a pandemic, things are starting to look up for the City of Columbia. Although masks and social distancing will still be required, the City of Columbia Parks and Recreation Department has announced that it will reopen parks and amenities on May 3rd. The reopening of amenities also includes community centers, neighborhood centers, and the Drew Wellness Center. Officials say that this means that youth sports may resume play, but summer camps will still be postponed.
A University of South Carolina theater professor has been removed from the classroom. Robert Richmond is accused of sexual harassment and has admitted to sending texts to a student asking her to sleep with him, among other inappropriate comments. According to university officials, students in the Department of Theater and Dance received a letter stating that he would be away from all on-campus roles. The letter also stated that it is the first step in restoring trust with students and faculty.
The Columbia Police Department executed a search and arrest warrant yesterday morning at a Columbia attorney's home. Harry Gregory has been charged with lewd acts upon a child. Officials say that the crime happened between 2002 and 2004 when the victim was a minor. Gregory attended his court hearing yesterday afternoon when the judge set his bond to $100,000. Gregory was also informed that he may not come in contact with the victim and is prohibited from leaving the state of South Carolina.
A Citadel cadet that has been charged in connection with the U.S. Capitol riot on January 6th has been kicked out of the Republican Society at the school, according to club officials. Elias Israzeri is one of 2 York County men charged by the FBI. According to a member of the club, the group believes the insurrection was, quote, an attack on our democracy. Israeri's involvement is what caused the removal. He is, however, still a member of the school.
Now, Madison, it'll be really interesting to see the discussion that the Citadel has in regards to whether or not they're going to keep him. I haven't heard anything so far, though.
I haven't either. The article that I saw just says that, he's just out of the Republican Society until further notice after his trial. So I think it'll be interesting what step the Citadel does take now with this.
Absolutely. Yep. We will keep you updated on all things happening with this student. After the break, we'll hear from Shari Adams with your entertainment news. Stick around. Welcome back to Friday Morning Live. We're here with Shari Adams for some entertainment news. Shari?
Thanks, Kaylee. We were all shocked when Kim and Kanye ended their marriage back in February, even though I can't say I didn't see this coming with everything that went down on social media. However, Thursday night on the Kyle and Jackie O show, Kris Jenner spoke out about what she wishes for the couple as they decide to go their separate ways. This is the first time that Kris has spoke about the couple, but she had nothing but positive things to say, wishing them the very best and saying it's, quote, I think it's always going to be it's going to be a hard time, There's a lot of kids, and the good thing about our family is that we are there for each other, and we love each other very much.
I was very shocked to see that the two split up. I mean, I have been a big fan from the start for, what do they call them, Kimye or something like that? I really liked them, though, as a couple.
Honestly, once Kanye took to social media about their personal problems, I knew it was going downhill.
Disappointing. Well, hopefully the two work it out and their family still stays connected through it all. What
Definitely.
You got next?
Can you tell that the month of love is over? Well, for Pete Davidson, March has been a nightmare. A woman who told the world that she was married to Pete Davidson and was starting a production company with him, even though she wasn't, is now being held in police custody. Michelle Mutretti was found by one of Davidson's relatives inside his New York City home, just hanging out in his kitchen. Pete had said he is not married to the woman and has never met her a day in his life. Davison's legal team is now working towards getting justice.
I just don't understand.
Like, people just keep on pretending to be in relationships. There's Bruno Mars and a woman.
Exactly.
No. Bruno Mars man impersonator.
I just don't understand, like, how do you think that you're going to get away with that kind of lie, especially with somebody who is in the limelight so often?
And then popping up in his house.
Yeah, little strange. Hopefully the justice is served there.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Shari. After the break, we'll hear from Cade Crenshaw with sports, so stick around.
Welcome back to Friday Morning Live. I'm Cade Crenshaw. I know you're probably expecting the scores from last night, or maybe even for me to give you a March Madness preview for the 3 teams in both the men's and women's tournaments this year from the Palmetto State. But this morning I wanted to take this time to speak on an issue that not only needs to be addressed, but also should have never been a problem to begin with. You see, yesterday Stanford sports performance coach Allie Kirshner shared a photo on her Instagram page of both the men's and women's workout spaces for their respective NCAA tournament bubbles. And as the day turned into night, that photo went viral. Take a look at your screen now, and in the top half of the photo, you'll see the area where all 68 men's teams are able to stay conditioned and prepare for their upcoming games. And in the bottom half, you can see the 6 dumbbell sets and the handful of yoga mats that nearly 700 women across 68 teams have to work with. Now, not pictured there is also the one stationary bike that's available to all 68 women's teams. Now, soon after it was posted, this viral picture resulted in a lot of backlash from some of basketball's biggest stars, including the reigning WNBA MVP and former South Carolina Gamecock, Asia Wilson, who tweeted out, quote, "That NCAA bubble weight room situation is beyond disrespectful," end quote. Now, with many now looking for answers from the NCAA in response to this, NCAA Vice President of Women's Basketball, Lynn Holzman, released this statement, saying, quote, "We acknowledge that some of the amenities teams would typically have access to have not been as available inside the controlled environment. In part, this is due to the limited space, and the original plan was to extend the workout area once additional space was available later in the tournament," end quote. Now, as for extending the space later in the tournament, the, quote, "original plan was for the women's teams that advanced to the Sweet 16 round would have this list of equipment, which is highlighted by 2 more bikes, 1 treadmill, and 5 jump ropes, among other things, including benches, plates, and dumbbells." And as for the alleged space, well, take a look at this video posted to Twitter yesterday from a Rutgers assistant coach showing the widely available area that the NCAA could have housed equipment, whether that's back in the back corners or in another court. There's plenty of room there for all of the exercise equipment. So the question that not only I have, but many others have as well today, is that why is it that almost 49 years after Title IX laws were put into place that we are still seeing disparity in the equality of women versus men? You know, it's hard for me to believe that I have to say this in 2021, but these women are no less of a person, player, or coach than their male counterparts. So they deserve to have the same workout equipment and bubble amenities as the men do. And as for the NCAA, this isn't difficult. It's just equality. Use this as your chance to have a conversation and get better. You know, this year has been too difficult, and these women have come way too far just to be given more roadblocks to overcome. So why not give them a path to success instead? I know here at the station, I'm fortunate enough to work with many women, both here at the anchor desk, behind the scenes as well, and just across the station as a whole, who pour their heart and soul into the hard work they do. And these female athletes are no different. Now, obviously, this hits here at home in Columbia, as the #1 seeded South Carolina women's team will take on 16 seed Mercer this Sunday night at 6 in the opening round of this year's tournament, which is being held in San Antonio, Texas. That's all for sports. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Friday Morning Live. SGTV News 4 meteorologist Frank Martinez is here with our weekend weather. So what does the weather look like it's going to be this weekend?
So the weather is looking kind of weird, to be honest with you, because we do have a drop in the temperature over the weekend, but we will, again, what always drops comes right back up, and it's going to be up. It's going to be one of the highest temperatures we've had so far. So
well, that is great.
You guys come with me. We have here what we're gonna be feeling like today. We have a 53 for the temperature. It does feel like 51 because of that 9-mile-per-hour wind going west. Our humidity is still high from all the rain we've had over the night and in the mornings at 64, although our rain chances are only 4%, so very, very, very low. It is gonna be cool and cloudy today. So we're gonna be moving on to our weather headlines for the week. Today, warm and cloudy. And like I was saying earlier, we will have that temperature drop over the weekend, specifically on Saturday. Stay tuned. It's really bizarre, guys. The sun out, and the temperature will rise as soon as we go past that bump on Saturday, with a slight chance of rain on Wednesday. As for today in Carolina, our highs were all over the place, all over the 50s, except for Aiken, Hilton Head, and Charleston, where we had a 61, 66, and 63 accordingly. And this is a visual representation of what I'm talking about here. So again, we start with that 62, we're gonna drop down to 53, and from there on, we're gonna have a steady rise all the way to that 75 up there that you guys see. Kind of crazy, one of the highest temperatures we've had so far, and that's just kind of what Carolina weather is defined as. Okay, so again, 62 for Friday, 53 with the drop, and 59, mostly sunny. The temp rise is gonna really pick up on Monday with that 67. And as for Tuesday and Wednesday, 69, 75 with that chance of rain on Wednesday. Sunny across the board with a little bit of clouds here and there, and rain on Wednesday. That is all for me today. Make sure to trust your weatherman as always. It has been Frank Martinez, and please stay tuned because when we come back, we're gonna have another edition of Feline Friday.
Welcome back to Friday Morning Live. Before we go, today's Friday Feline feature goes out to Buck, who was sent in by one of our very own producers, Will Kronsberg. Buck is a 15-year-old female cat who likes to spend most of her time indoors despite being an outdoor cat. She has many friends in her neighborhood, including a possum and a couple of raccoons who often like to share her food. But above all, she loves her father the most. Madison, this cat is absolutely adorable. Buck, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, I personally am more of a dog person, but I was sold with the possum and the raccoon friends.
Absolutely, and I don't know if I've told you this, but I am in the market for a raccoon for my cat, so I think that might be a move, especially after seeing that they can become such great friends.
Sounds like a great idea.
Thanks you so much for tuning in to Friday Morning Live. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at SGTV News 4 to keep up to date on all things USC. For SGTV News 4, I'm Keely Olivas.
And I'm Madison Blumenauer. Have a great week in Carolina.
And forever to thee.